people have like a work-life balance, we have a Latin standard balance.
The recipe for the Champions Day.
You need twice more time to, again, keep up with two styles.
Social life is out the window, does not exist to begin with. Yeah.
If you could say something to all those kids, what would you say? Welcome to WDSN, the World Dance Sport Network. I'm here with Oskar Rybczynski and Daniela Koretska now. Congratulations, guys, on your recent USDC and Embassy results.
Thank you so much.
They are current United States vice champions, under 21 10 dances, and they are ranked third in the world. And they are also one of the top couples in many prestigious competitions worldwide. Guys, now you'll be changing your category from youth to adults, the amateurs. This is a big change for you and for sure very exciting, right?
Definitely.
And besides of all that, so competing on the highest level, they also teach next gen kids. How it all started? How was your journey? How you started dancing? How old were you? How long are you dancing together? Tell us about it.
So I've been dancing since I was 3 years old, so almost my entire life, right? Yeah, it's been a while. So actually my parents are dancers, actually from Poland. So then they came here and then they opened up their own studio and then that's where I started.
I started pretty much same age. I started 4 years old back in Ukraine because that's where I'm from. I also come from a dancing family, so that's where I started. And so it's been over 15 years now.
And how long are you guys dancing together?
2.5 years, I believe.
Two and a half.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, since 2023. Yeah.
that's impressive. That's a short amount of time to do such an amazing result. Wow, I didn't know that. The next question to you guys, because I know that you do 10 dances, you compete in that since the beginning, right?
Yes.
It's probably a lot of work, a lot of determination, commitment. Tell us about it, how you make it happen all together.
So, it's always that balance, People have like a work-life balance, we have a Latin standard balance. So we always have to manage that, Exactly, right? So you always have to manage that, you can't do one more than the other. You always try to do them as equally as possible. Sometimes it might be, one might be better than the other one, but you always try to keep it as equal as possible.
So I want to say that not that many couples in America that I know they do
That's true.
many styles,
That's true.
multiple. I know only a few that do two. I think one couple that I know does 3 styles, Latin standard and smooth, which is super impressive.
Oh, yeah.
As I said, you need twice more time to, again, keep up with 2 styles, and you want to dedicate and commit to both. So I would say definitely we do have a preset schedule for both of our coachings, lessons, practices, rounds, and so on. So we just try to keep consistent with that and show up even when we're tired, when you don't want to. So consistency is a key.
And here comes my other question, a little bit spontaneous.
Okay.
When you started dancing, you've been raised like that by your teachers to always do 10 dances, or it was always trying to get you in a one path?
For me, it's always been 10 dances. I think a lot of people believe that, doing 10 dances from the beginning and continuing it onwards is very good.
They complement each other for sure.
Yeah.
And same thing with me, because I'm from Ukraine, and in Ukraine and Europe, I feel like this system is much more, everyone does 10 dance from the very beginning, both styles. So I think it's definitely a plus, I want to say.
And do you try to do the same when you teach the kids? Try to always share that with them and pass it to them. You should do the 10 dances as long as possible.
No, we try. Sometimes it doesn't work out, but of course you always try to do as much as possible. You want them to develop as much as possible, right? That's your goal as a teacher, right? Develop them. So that's what you always try to do, right? So we always try to lead them in the direction to make sure they're always to do what can we do to give them the most potential, to send them the furthest. Yeah.
That's actually very clever. Now, because you started pretty early, like 3 years old, 4 years old, probably your parents, they encouraged you to start, right? And when was the moment when you individually felt like, this is something for me, I love it?
Good question. Because for me, I think, again, I started at 4, and actually I have a very funny story with how I started, because eventually...
We want to hear that.
Even though my parents are dancers, they didn't want me to do ballroom dance. So first, they set me to do rhythmic gymnastics, but I think I lasted like 1 or 2 classes, and they told me that, no, I don't think this is for you. So anyway, I begged them at the same time to send me to ballroom dance classes, and eventually they did. And then at the first, couple of months, they didn't know what's going on. I had a separate teacher, and then eventually, when my mom walked into the group class and she saw me, doing like waltz, cha-cha, the 4-year-old, and she was like, wow, okay, that's my child. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, and it started
Awesome.
from there.
Awesome. And how about you, Oskar?
For me, I have to be honest, I don't know if I liked it right away.
Okay.
But you know what?
Like most, right?
Yeah.
But it all comes around. It comes full circle. Whatever you do good in, you like, right? So eventually, it was getting better and better, whatever. And eventually, you like it more and more as a result as well.
And guys, because dance can get hard sometimes, okay? With all the practices, making time for it, like quitting from meeting with friends and having like a social life outside, because we all know we need to commit to that fully, right? We also need to make time to recover, we need to make time to make the body stronger, additional workouts, everything. How you make it work on your hardest days and how you still keep your heart in it all the time?
Well, first of all, social life is out the window. It does not exist. That to begin with. Yeah. So it does not really exist. What are our friends? The people in the studio. That's why we make time for everything else, right? Because normally people go out and stuff. We don't do this because we want to focus, we want to get better, of course, and all this, right? So, and also, again, we have a schedule, everything is kind of worked out. We have this, sometimes we have a workout, then we have a little bit of a break to have some food. Okay, then we go and teach.
Yeah.
So that's kind of our schedule most.
What are your feelings, Daniela?
For me, because I think if we're coming to the root of this question, I think first of all, you need to set your priorities very clearly from the very beginning and just ask parents or kids, okay, so what's your goal? What do you want to achieve? Sometimes people are going to be, champion of a certain competition or national champions, and the preparation for those two groups, it's going to be different. None of it is bad. It's just a personal preference. You just need to be very clear, okay, this is what we want to achieve, and then I just think just stick with the routine and listen to your teachers, listen to the professionals, and just go for it.
Give us, guys, some sneak peeks how your practice day looks like, and your daily routine when you wake up, how it looks like. The recipe for the Champions Day.
So our day starts pretty early now.
Yeah.
Okay.
We always wake up around 7 a.m. I want to say sometimes even earlier. So usually around 9 or 10 we're already at the studio. Sometimes we start with we do ballet now, so that's how our day start. Like then we practice by ourselves a little bit. Then we usually have private lessons with our teachers, or we practice by ourselves. Then we usually have a bit of a break. No, sorry, we have lessons, then we practice one more time. Then we have a break, like you said, for food or to
like that.
We usually have workouts like mid of the day, I want to say, after 4 p.m. That's exactly when
That's intense.
that's when kids finish school. After like 4-ish, 5-ish, that's when we teach, usually. Then we teach, and after that, we can have one more practice in the evening, so it's usually around after that. I just want to say that the most important thing that keeps us through it is our passion, again, that we really love what we do, and I think if you don't, then you kind of need to force yourself into it. But then I feel like because we have results and our dancing improves, it kind of again encourages. It's like a non-stop
like a
full-time process. Yes. So that's what keeps us going, I think.
Definitely.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. The community. That's what helps us.
That's what I saw. Like you have very nice community at the studio. Like it looks like you guys motivate each other. Like you have those shared rounds, all of you, and it probably motivates you and keeps you in that, right?
Absolutely, yeah. That community in the studio, having those rounds, seeing everyone dance, a lot of fun. But also at the competition, going to see your friends, even though they're still your competitors, right? But you still have to, you still kind of have a good relationship, right?
Be nice to them, respect, absolutely, even though you're competing. And of course, the biggest shout out goes to our parents and coaches, 100%. We have our team, that's what we usually call it, because we have Latin teachers, ballroom, ballet workout, and so on and so on. And without them, we definitely couldn't have achieved what we have right now. So
the big hearts to the parents there. Yes.
Parents.
All of you do amazing job.
Absolutely.
Yes. You teach kids, right? As you said, you share your passion with them, you share your knowledge. After teaching them a little bit, do you see yourselves like literal Daniela and Oskar in those kids that you're teaching?
That's the goal. Again, like I mentioned earlier, we try to put as much of ourselves into them as possible. We try to, I'm not gonna say word push, but kind of push a little bit, and we try to motivate them. We try to get them as far as they can go.
It's definitely very sweet and a precious moment because it's very cute, how those kids, they face the challenges and how they overcome. I think.
And how they open up to us dancers, right?
Absolutely.
And now, You've been through it from very young age, 3-4 years old. You've been through the youth categories, and now you're changing to amateur, so you're guys officially adults in dancing, right?
That's right.
And in life too.
Yeah.
Okay. And now tell us, what are your feelings about transition, getting to more competitions in adults? How you feel about that? What's like your biggest challenges you're feeling right now?
I think in our opinion, we love it. Honestly, this is a very exciting change. No regrets, no nothing. I don't want to look back. We're only going forward, you know?
So you're not stressed, you're just motivated to work harder?
Not at all stressed,
Perfect.
no. You know, because you dance a couple years and everything, but then after that, you move on. And that's good. You need to move on eventually, right? You need to continue, right? You're getting older, you're getting better, you're improving, you have more experience, all this good stuff. You want to keep going. For us, it's very exciting to move on. You get to this new level, get to this new age category. It's very, very exciting for us.
Because I feel like sometimes, especially with kids, you know, when they're turning from teen to junior, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm not a teen anymore.
Yeah.
That's it, my life is over. And we're like, guys, you have so much ahead of you. Even now in amateurs, it's still amateur, and then pro, and you know, so much ahead of you. And I think you just need to find all the possible ways to enjoy it, other than, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen? Everything's gonna go wrong. No, it's gonna be great. Just go for it, work hard, and enjoy it.
Talking to you, I have an impression like being that young, you have very clever mindset, and like the way you plan it all, and just what you say, like there is no like something, okay, changing the category, something stressful, that you make it like, as you said beautifully, one process. So just don't stress about it, just move on and work hard. I love that, what you said. You are an amazing dancer, and you'll be achieving even more. And you are an inspiration for a lot of kids, probably. Of course, the ones you teach, I'm sure about that. And for many who are watching us right now with their parents, yes? If you could say something to all those kids that are watching it now, what would you say? To motivate them, to some kind of give them like a push forward.
Well, all I can say is, guys, do not stop. Keep going forward. You might have some up and downs here and there. You know, you might think like, oh my gosh, this sucks. I want to quit, I want to do this. No, you gotta keep going, right? You think so? Everyone has those moments and those days or whatever.
Yeah.
That's okay. You know, it happens. You might be very low one time at a moment, but then the next, you meet someone new, something happens, you get new information, whatever the case may be, and then you keep going, you know, and then you keep going, and because you didn't stop, oh, now you're in the final, you're a champion or whatever. So that's how it goes.
Beautiful.
Definitely agree, and be consistent, work hard, dream about your goals, and be hungry for it. I like that word.
That word is good, yeah.
It's a strong word. Thank you guys for answering all those questions.
Thank you so much.
I could be asking you like much more, because you're such an inspiring couple. I wish you the best of luck on all the competitions you'll be having this year, okay?
Thank
and thank you so much for that interview.
Thank you for having us. Thank you. It's a pleasure.